What's up guys, this is M3RKMUS1C and welcome to the intermediate level guitar tutorial. I'll mostly be covering essentials, fundamentals, and even some specific riffs that if you put into practice enough will accelerate your knowledge and technical ability on the guitar. This video really is like a middle of the road type of video, so if you're very new to guitar, I highly recommend that you check out my basic guitar tutorial. At the same time, if you're not looking for more exercises or rudiments to work into your routine and you want to get onto like the advanced stuff, I'll have a video on that soon. The links to both of those guitar tutorials will be in the description of this video once they're both uploaded, and I'll also have some stuff to click on at the end of the video. It's gonna be the same tutorials, but you know, the future of YouTube is end cards, so I'll have those too. But yeah, let's get into this tutorial. I think this goes without saying. Practice. The only thing separating us from getting good at anything is time. And I'm gonna tell you this now if you didn't know it already. Pretty much no one is born with this innate ability to just be a professional at anything they want to be without having to put in any kind of time and effort. This kind of fallacy is why people assume that professionals are, let's think of the cliches, natural born winners, talented, oh and this one's my favorite, gifted, implying that the person was just handed thousands of hours of hard work and determination out of thin air. That's just ridiculous. If you want to truly master anything, you have to have the self-discipline to do so. And if you want to master the guitar, get ready to play your ass off. Essentials. What I'm about to show you is warm-up material, but it's stuff that I practice and play every day, and I highly recommend it to anyone. Chromatic climb and descent. Chromatic thing is really just good for warming up your fingers. You can use this simple riff to practice different picking patterns. I would also highly recommend that when you're doing this type of warm-up that you do it with a metronome to stay in time. It's by no means required to stay in time, but I highly recommend that you do. This next shape I'm going to show you is kind of weird. It's from Joe Satriani's Guitar Secrets. I've also seen it in some different videos. You can pick each individual note if you want to. You can play it like it's a chord. You can even arpeggiate it if you really want to. But what really makes this exercise difficult is doing it on different strings. It's kind of a bitch to play, and I probably didn't play it perfectly, but what you want to try to do is get that articulation right. If that means playing it slowly but getting every note to sound out perfectly, then that's what you should really be going for. Legato stretches. This one is really grindy and kind of obnoxious. You can do this on any string at any fret, but essentially what you're going to be doing is working on your hammer-ons and your pull-offs. One finger at a time. That's the general idea. Except as an exercise, you want to be doing that for minutes instead of like seconds. This will really help with your hammer-ons, your pull-offs, legato, and stuff like that. You also want to do it with your other fingers like this. And absolutely the most difficult is ring finger to pinky like this. But doing that over time will get your fingers stronger. And I do want to point out that as you go up higher on the frets, it does get easier, which means that you should aim to do some farther stretches once you're higher up on the neck. Playing scales with no pinky. We'll take something simple like a G major scale. Try playing that without a pinky. That might not seem that challenging, but let's take this shape, and we'll play that shape on every string. It's relatively effortless with your pinky finger, but now we can't use it. Not bad, but it definitely does lose some of that articulation, and it's definitely harder to play. This is kind of a tricky thing to play because it will confuse your muscle memory, but it will help increase your dexterity between your middle and your ring finger. And it's kind of a fun challenge. Practice picking at different tempos with a metronome. idea though. Improvise for at least 10 minutes a day. Improvising is kind of essential for getting the creative juices flowing. It allows you to take your technical ability and your knowledge of theory and actually put it into practice. And even though it will put you on the spot and you are going to be prone to making mistakes because you're just kind of playing on the fly, you definitely need to do it. But whatever you do, don't be discouraged to improvise. You can improvise without a track, without a metronome, and you can just play out of time just to play. Or you can play with a metronome, or you can play over a backing track, or you can even improvise over a song you already know. But definitely make improvising a habit. That sounded kind of funky, but that's the fun part about improvising. You never know what you're gonna get. And even though this might sound kind of boring, work on music theory. Whether that's learning scales, modes, chords, sight reading, ear training, singing, these are all things that will actually help you in the long run. And I would also highly recommend getting some variety. It's very important to experiment with different sounds and different genres of music. And spicing things up when you're grinding away at your technical ability really helps with the monotony. And I think you'll be happily surprised if you look hard enough for some really interesting types of music. I'll give you guys a prime example. To be brief, I went to music college and I had a roommate, and we had completely different tastes in music. He was coming from a very heavy jazz, fusion, funk, R&B type of background. He listened to stuff that was completely off my radar, but now it's on my radar because I ended up finding that I loved that type of music. And sometimes it takes the right type of music, the right artist to actually get you pulled in. For me, as far as it goes for jazz and fusion, that was Snarky Puppy and Bill Lawrence. And just to clarify, Bill Lawrence is one of the keyboardists for Snarky Puppy, but he has his own solo stuff, which I have to add, I absolutely love his music. But yeah, it doesn't have to be jazz or funk or fusion or whatever it might be. It doesn't have to be rock or country, as long as it's just something different than what you're used to. I would generally just say don't be too close-minded. Try to stay open to different possibilities and opportunities for music, especially if you're a guitarist, because you can get really caught up with trying to be like a shred head or something, but you might not even know how to play a G chord. And even though you could have a complete mastery of chords, you might not be able to solo. And I really do believe that the only way to get more well-rounded and to try to balance out your abilities and skills is to explore different types of music. And trust me, that's something that I definitely need to work on, because for the longest time, all I was listening to was Joe Satriani and Steve Vai. And that's fantastic. They're amazing players and they make great music. But it's very important to keep in mind that it's not the only music in the world. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this intermediate level type of guitar tutorial. If you did and you'd like to see some more guitar tutorials, then make sure to drop a like. And if you'd like to check out the basic tutorial or the advanced tutorial, it'll be popping up on screen right about now.